Hey, Mike, Dennis Meidner, CFO on the go. Hey, I got your email. You should have your proposal. I think Gene was sending that to you. But I did want to go over those three questions you had. So payroll is full payroll. We go to payroll reports. Your certified payroll. It's going to do your year-to-date, quarter-to-date earnings. Down here, it's got your 941s, W-2s, quarterlies. If you do a magnetic, you're probably not big enough. All the federal forms are here. So we do have it full blown. The nice part is on our payroll, which a lot of people don't realize, is that on QuickBooks, it only charges the gross payroll and not with all of the burdens attached. When you do payroll in Masterbuild, when you charge it to a job and an item, it's going to follow with all of the burdens. So your workers' comp, your FICA, your FUTA, your SUTA, if you have a 401k match, health benefits, all of those are going to be charged to your job cost, which is exactly the way it should be done. So it does full payroll. Not sure how many employees you have, but I have a couple of clients. I got a GC over in Riverside, does a lot of their own work, probably 300 plus employees. In the prime, I had some specialty subs with 800 employees, so I don't think you can outgrow it. So I wouldn't worry about payroll. You did have a question on accounts payable and what have you. So if I'm going to enter an invoice, and I was going to make one up here, and I put that in, and I do have a purchase order already written for this one. I got to remember which one of these is open. So so I just entered the PO number here, and so it entered the vendor, it entered the job, the description, dates, and everything that was on that PO. At this point, I can change these quantities and say, you know what, I only got 2,500 of these, and then reprice this. And this now should match your invoice total. If you do, it's ready to be paid. If you didn't get a PO number, I'm going to just close this real quick. Then I would just come in here and say, here's my invoice number. Have it from Home Depot, and I want to charge the job $2,500, whatever your job number is. Whoops, they don't have a job 2,500, so charge you number 2. It'll pick that job number, and then at that point I can now distribute this to the line items that I want to, or again, one of my other items is in job costs. I didn't fill all this out, but in my job cost in here, if I had an invoice for $5,000 from Home Depot, and it was for a bunch of miscellaneous lumber, and I wanted to spread that out equally over 10 jobs, I can just list the jobs and have it allocate that expense overall to the job. So it's pretty simple. Also, down here, we can do secondary fees. Not sure if that's big in your business, but it is in some. So a lot of flexibility in AP. In addition to that, you can not only do the allocation up here. I guess that's about it. The main thing is, I would encourage you to use POs. You can actually write a master PO. So if you have an agreement with CAT or somebody for rentals, and you don't know how many hours you're really going to rent it this year, but you have an agreement that I can rent a loader for $89 an hour. You can create a master PO and then just write against the master PO for each of the individual projects when you need it. So a lot of ways to do it. Once a consultant gets out there and meets with you, then they're going to be able to determine what the simplest approach for you is and how to handle it. All right, that's AP. And then the other thing you had was attachments. So let me go to one of my records here. I just know I have a lot of information on this one. So I go to this contact information, and this is on every screen, by the way. There's a paper clip up here. If it's gray, there's nothing there. If it's white, there's something attached. So to this record, client record, I've attached the PDF. Entered their website. I got a Word document, and I actually dragged and dropped the email in directly from my Outlook. So any type of attachment you want to drag and drop here, you can. Is now going to get backed up with the Master Builder database when you back up tonight. So in your case, I don't know if I have an example, but if I went into accounts receivable and I was doing an invoice, and this is the invoice, and I want to attach a signed copy, or if it's a change order and I want to say it's changed, I just click this and say I want to add, and say I want to attach a file. I just go out there, browse that file, and we'll just say it's this one right here. Now that PDF is attached to this record, so anytime I come back, let me save this real quick. notepads wide, I know there's attachments there, and I can come back in here and say, hey, what is that? And there it is. So that's it. Pretty simple. But yeah, the only concern I have when I talk about attachments is I have really no problem attaching invoices, attaching signed contracts, attaching subcontracts. You don't want to get carried away with pictures. Otherwise, your backup at night just becomes really, as you grow, it gets really longer and longer and longer because those pictures are just so big. I would suggest using this for your paper documents, but pictures, I probably keep them in a separate folder completely, just not to make that database too large. Anyway, thanks. If you have any other questions, give me a call, but you should have this today, and I think Gene's already sent your proposal. If not, it's going to be there this morning. Thanks.